Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. Oh, I'm so excited. So we have got through our 70 and 7 series where we have made 70 pieces of ephemera, completed 70 pieces of ephemera in 7 days. So we've got all these bits of ephemera for our junk journals and we've completed them all in 7 days, which is super exciting, isn't it? So I thought let's quickly come along. We'll have a quick look through all the bits that we made and just kind of, check it out. And then I will just kind of show you how I would then personally go about probably using these in a journal. So, I mean, this is my whole pile of ephemera. So I will store this in a container like maybe a shoebox or a, what do you call those? Like a photo storage box. I will store them like that. I will store them facing upright like this, that I can then flick through when I come to use them. That's how I like to store my ephemera. Obviously I've got quite a lot of them here, so I will have to start a new box really. So I've got a couple of boxes already that I use for my ephemera. I'll probably start a new one for this. So yeah, I need to kind of seek out a shoebox. Probably my son's got one from his trainers and things. But that's how I will store it, all stored, standing upright in the box that I can then kind of flick through it. So let's have a look and see what we made. So we did this gorgeous envelope. I think this was that one that I struggled with so much and it took forever to actually get it to come together, but I love how it looked in the end. We've got one of those little envelopes with a, booklet in there. So again, isn't that really yummy? We've got a little pocket here with stapled sides and a little kind of decorative edge strip at the top. Another little envelope here like that. Really love that envelope, I have to say. It's so pretty, isn't it? Then we've got this with the little opening flap. Really love how that looked. I didn't stick the sorry silk down because I thought we would leave it for, when I come to use it, because I may swap that out for maybe an ivory piece. I maybe even could use like a dark blue type thing that would tie in with that dark blue that's on that frame. I don't know, but that's why I haven't glued that down onto there. We've got a little side loading tuck. It's not side in, sorry, a corner pocket. So you've got one there and one there, so it's a double one, and you just glue that down and pop things into there. We've got this gorgeous piece here, which is a double pocket there. Really, really pretty. Another envelope here. I mean, I do love envelopes, and for some reason I said in the video, but yeah, I sometimes find envelopes a little bit tricky to decorate and sort of put off doing them. I'm almost like, oh no, it's an envelope. Oh, that's kind of stressing me out. Who knows why I feel that way? Because actually in the series, apart from that first one, most of them came together really well. So, and really easily. I absolutely love this one. It's so pretty. I'm kind of thinking I will probably hoard this. I've mixed it with some of the flowers from my Junk Journal Basics kit too. This is the decorative edge strips second set, light butterfly, and then some collage on the background, and then this little bit of paper is from the tea collection. Doesn't that look gorgeous? And then on the back I've just kind of tied it in with some coordinating papers so that the front and the back tie in pretty well color wise. So yeah, absolutely love that one. We've got this one with a big pocket there, and then 2 pockets here, one there and one there. So again, love how that looks. Another one here, just a pocket in the front. Another one here with just pocket here, and a pocket here. Got a little long edge, long flap envelope. This here with a pocket there and a little Rita Donnelly flip. Now this is like the Rita Donnelly flips, but normally they would go around the page. Obviously I've cut it in half. Now I've just noticed when operating this does kind of like get in the way slightly, so I may have to tear that down when I come to stick that in. I've got here another double corner tuck, a long tuck pocket there. I've got this one, which if you recall, this was an envelope, but we cut the top off. So now it's just a top loading pocket there. Absolutely love that. I might make some more of those. They're really nice. This is vellum, if you recall, on the front, which, oh my goodness, just love it. Really love that. We've got this one, which is the, again, little side loading tuck. I don't know why I can't speak now. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with my language capability today. We've got this one here. So you've got a pocket there, and a pocket there. We've got this one, again, a pocket here. And if you recall, this was the one with the transparency film in the back, which, again, I really like how that looks. This one, big tuck spot there. Got this one. It's got one of those side loading pockets there with the transparency. Just that gorgeous cluster. This one with a little flap. Oh, another one of those. Don't know why they all sort of ended up congregating together, but yeah, I'll glue that together. There we go. So side loading pocket there. A couple of little slanty pockets there. Oh, that's just kind of wanting to stick up, so I'm just going to pop that down. Okay, like that. Okie dokie. Another envelope there. I won't bother opening it, but we had the twine. The twine is glued down, but of course, if you prefer to use sari silk or something like that, you could always cut the twine off and then add something different on there. But love that envelope so much. It's so pretty, isn't it? Another one of those side loading pockets. Another pocket there. Another one of those diagonal slanty pockets. That one there. This one was that large sort of coin envelope. Really pretty. We incorporated a wax seal on that one. Here we've got another one of those pocket. Absolutely love how that one looks. It's so pretty, isn't it? Yeah, love that. Another envelope here. Oh no, have I glued this down? Oh, just a little bit, but luckily not too much. So yep, isn't that gorgeous? Must make some more of these. Honestly, the amount of things that I've thought, oh, I must make some more. So this was just made using 2 different papers that have been coffee dyed and then glued together. But isn't that just such a gorgeous envelope? Absolutely love it. Pockets here, and a pocket here. So again, really love how that looks. Here we've got the pocket in the top there. Here we've got another envelope. Really love that. Oh, another envelope here, just this teeny little one. Love how that looks. We've got this side loading pocket. I have to say, isn't that just so scrumptious? Absolutely love it. We've got this one, which was that, I don't know what you describe these as, but it was inspired by E over at Scrapbooking with Me. She did these, so not my idea at all, but you've got a big pocket here, and then you've got a big pocket. Oh no, have I glued this down? Of course I have. Yep, a big pocket in here as well. Then you've got journaling space here and here, and then obviously just close it down with the like policy closure type style closure. Then a Matchbox book style there. That one, which, oh my goodness, don't you just love how that looks? These were those inspired by Wendy's Journal Adventure, where she did the fabric at the top of the vellum. So again, glue that on those 3 sides, pop that down. Another envelope. Wow, didn't we do a lot of envelopes? Did we? Oh no, just glued that down slightly. Just get that bit of glue off. Isn't that lovely? So that's my yellow roses paper, and it's got some of my pale butterflies and a stamp cluster, little frame on the back with one of my bows. But that's so gorgeous, isn't it? We've got this one here, which I think we put, yeah, some Velcro dots. This is a flip down like that. We've got here another one of those, oops, coin envelopes. Got here that gorgeous one with the flowers from my botanicals. This one here, this is that capital collection papers. Diagonal pocket going across there. Lots of bows. We used lots of bows in this series, didn't we? Loving the bows. I was loving the bows during this series. So yeah, this one, oops, tucks in there. That's very pretty. Got this one with the Autumn's Upon Us papers. Again, very lovely. This one here, pocket there and a pocket there. Got these two. This one is again another long, oops, long flap envelope. This one, which we did a sari silk closure, and it just opens, and then you've got this slanty pocket going across the top. Again, we didn't glue the sari silk on, so we've got options if, you know, we wanted to use a different closure when we come to use it, or even not use a closure at all. I mean, it's not flapping open or anything, so you wouldn't have to use a closure at all. We've got this one, which again was another envelope. This one here, again, some bits and pieces on here. Another one of those with the side flap. This one here with the, this is an envelope pocket, and yeah, we've got just a cluster on the front of there now. This one, again, little pocket there. Another one of those with the pocket and the pocket there. Another one of those envelope pockets. Oops, like that. Another one of those slanty pockets. Another one of those like flip overs, but this one's got some fly sheet. Another one of those from the Capital collection with a slanty pocket, and this was that one where we used that kind of quite big piece of snippet roll just straight across there. It looks lovely, doesn't it? And we've got this one, you've got your pocket up there, and then you've got your pocket in there as well. I love these pockets so much. I must make some more of those. Then we've got this one, which we used that large piece of snippet roll, and we've just got a slanty pocket down the side. Very busy now. This was just a plain book page pocket, but it's come up very busy, hasn't it? So yeah, I really like how that turned out. Another very busy piece here was this little flip down, and we used this, you know, very busy kind of snippet piece as the tuck spot, like that. Okay, and then we've got this one, which is again another double corner tuck. Oh no, I've glued that down. Okay, another corner tuck spot, so one there and one there. Another one of those little, whoops, those little pockets with the transparency window. We've got this one, which is one of those double booklets. Love that. Oops, nearly at the bottom now. This one, another little flip out. This one here, which is another one of those pockets where you've got the pocket there and the pocket there. I did do a tutorial on these. These were a new style pocket, but they're very, very easy to do, and I have to say I really, really do love them. This one, which again is a little just fold out, and we used a big piece of snippet strip or cluster, I can't remember. Oh, this might be a lace cluster actually, to use as the closure. Isn't that lovely? Kind of feeling like I might have to hoard that one because it's so pretty. And then the final one, we just did this one here, which actually weirdly I think this was the final one that we did actually make in the series. So yeah, we have got a huge variety here. Now I didn't count them up today. I did count them at the end of every episode, so I'm just trusting and hoping that I have got 70 here, but a huge volume of ready-made ephemera for my junk journals. So going forward, if you joined in with me and you're now thinking, oh gosh, you know, maybe you feel now overwhelmed from the amount of ephemera that you've got, or maybe you're just looking at it thinking, oh my goodness, you know, where do I start with all of this ephemera now? What I would probably do, now I have to apologise because I don't have a junk journal actually on the go that I can pull in and, you know, really kind of demonstrate from, you know, from the start. But what I would probably do, let's just say that I had quite a neutral, you know, bound journal that I wanted to use. I personally would probably pull my pieces out into colours. So I would go through and, you know, anything that's vaguely pink, I would perhaps pile up. Everything, you know, vaguely purple, vaguely blue, purple again, maybe some black pieces. Again, another blue one, blue, blue, another black one, pink, black, blue. I'm not sure what colour I would really call this. Not sure, so I'll put that to one side, maybe sort of a browns. This one, not sure, purples or pinks, I'm not sure really. But I mean, this is just a first stab, maybe some greens. This is just a first stab at separating things out. And then I would go through, put them into their piles of, you know, colours like this. And we did talk about that, you know, personally speaking, for me, I would say that approximately most of my, you know, what I would call my standard journal methods, I use probably around about 20 pieces, between 15 and 25. Let's just say between 15 and 25. So some may be 15, some 20, 25, you know, anywhere in that sort of region. And I would then, yeah, use that. So I would start with this, and then I would kind of go through again and think, you know, what actually goes together now out of those pieces. So at the moment, all I'm doing is separating out into rough colours. So, you know, I mean, obviously I do love pink. So this is very, very heavy on the pinks, you know, lots and lots of pink things here. You know, which, yeah, maybe I kind of need to veer away from pink a little bit, but I do just, yeah, feel always drawn to using pink type things. So this is my first kind of stab at finding, you know, what types of colours I've got. So like this, maybe the greens actually. Yeah, I don't know actually what that would go. Again, put it there. And that's what I'm saying. I would pile them up first into my first attempts at colours. So like this, I'm going to just put that on there. Then what I would do is, obviously I have got some other ready-made ephemera. So I would perhaps get my other ready-made ephemera and pull in other colours that would perhaps go, like for example, with all of these. Now, if I didn't have enough, then obviously I know that I can make some other pieces in these types of shades, which would then form to, you know, be able to go into a journal. If I have enough pieces from here, so let's pick the pink pile because there look to be a lot in the pink pile. So I'll just move these out the way. So I would take my pinks now and I would line them up and kind of think, well, actually, what goes best together? You know, because just because some are pink, they might have pink and brown, or this one, pink and greeny blue. So it not, you know, I don't feel necessarily will go, you know, maybe with this that maybe is more pinks and browns. I don't know. So I would perhaps whittle them down now into what I think, you know, complements very nicely. So those two for me, they really complement each other very well. Maybe I would incorporate that in that little bundle as well, because those three go, you know, very well tonal wise. And I would do that for all of my pieces. And then I would kind of whittle them down, and I would go through my journal and pop them into, you know, rough pages where I think that I would like them to go. Then obviously if I need to make other pieces, I can make other pieces. If I don't, you know, I could obviously make from the pieces that I've got, or I could make from the pieces that I've got as my, you know, initial try. But once the journal starts coming together, I may kind of get a certain way in and think, oh, actually, I don't think that does go so well. You know, it will be a kind of trial and error type situation, depending on how my journal's kind of coming together. So, you know, there's no kind of hard and fast rules. I would just kind of adapt it to, you know, the pieces that I've got. Now, I've got some scraps here of paper, so I'm just going to kind of show you as well. So if I hadn't got a journal bound, you know, and I've got my ready-made pieces, I would maybe, if I were, say, going with the pink pieces, I would maybe try and incorporate some pages that would go with my pieces. Now, obviously this is an optional thing, but you know, I would maybe try and tie in some papers. So for example, this is my roses collection. I would maybe, you know, use that as a base page or something like that. Or if you had already bound your journal and it's just with coffee dyed pages, or, you know, plain pages, or however you like to do it, I would maybe just take some papers, you know, like this, or, you know, if you use wallpaper or wrapping paper or scrapbook paper or whatever you use, and I'd maybe just tear some little bits of this type of thing to have around on the pages, so that you're getting that whole pink feel right the way through, you know. But by incorporating just a couple of pages, I mean, that one obviously goes perfectly because they are both from the roses collection. So, you know, that one's slightly kind of cheaty, but I would just try and do that so that I'm bringing in more of the colour that I'm trying to kind of, you know, pick up or go for. So, you know, I'm just showing you here a few of the pink ones on this pink page, and just how lovely then they would look together. So, you know, that's just a little tip for then tying your pieces in again, because sometimes, you know, I do get people say, that's all fine, but I find then my ready-made pieces don't necessarily kind of flow with what I'm making. And I really do hear what you're saying, because my goodness, I struggle all the time with the whole matchy-matchy thing. Sorry, I'm just putting these paper scraps away. I do really struggle myself with the whole matchy-matchy thing. And, you know, sometimes it kind of like almost borders a bit on obsessive, you know, because I then think, oh, I don't want to use that, you know, that doesn't go with that, and, you know, what have you. But if you can possibly just take a bit of paper that's just got, you know, a little bit of the pattern. So I don't know, this one, you could just tear out a little bit if you were doing, say, you know, a blue journal or something, or, you know, if you were using a piece like this but you wanted to bring out the blue, if you just tore that corner edge off and had that somewhere on your page that you're going to glue this down, that could easily go then on a coffee dyed page. So let me just grab in some coffee dyed paper. Okay, I don't have any coffee dyed paper to hand. Oh, maybe I do actually. Right, there we go. So if this were, you know, my base page, which is coffee dyed, to incorporate this one and bring out the blue, I could just tear off this here, for example, and just have that either overhanging or, you know, coming out behind there, or could have it, you know, on the corner of a page or something like that, and then pop this down like that. And that would then just bring in the blue, you know, or bring out the blue, sorry, from that piece. So just those really tiny little things are going to kind of like transform how this all, you know, works together. I mean, that, for example, again, just tying in the blues. This one, I mean, obviously this is not really the ideal shape, but, you know, again, if I were to have this on a page, I would then maybe just try and tear something out and have a little bit of blue paper torn somewhere on that page. Let me see whether I've got some other scraps that would kind of demonstrate a little bit more. So let me just pull in my, oops, my scraps papers. Hold on. Okay, so for example, here I've got these lilac papers. So going with the lilac-y pieces, I could just tear a piece of this and have this just somewhere on that page, and straight away that's going to bring out the purple much more. It looks okay on there, you know, as a coffee dyed page. I'm not saying I don't like that, but straight away, if we just take this, and I just happen to be tearing down corners, but of course you don't have to, you know, you don't have to tear down corners, you know, I just happen to have done that with these two bits. But straight away, I'm just going to fold this in. This is my perfume collection papers, and yeah, I've obviously had a misprint here with the back, as you can see, but just showing you if this were on a page like that, and then that flipped down, straight away, that looks quite transformed to if it were like that. Now, I'm not saying, like I say, that, you know, this is necessarily better. I personally, I'm just always very drawn to colour. So for me, that seems a little bit more exciting than when I take it away. So exactly the same, you know, for example, this one could pop on there. And again, have a bit of purple coming out. And it's just bringing a bit more purple out of this piece. It's kind of like bringing out the butterfly. It's making it look a little bit more exciting. Again, take that away. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's how I would use my ready-made things. So, you know, if you've kind of like joined in along and now you think, oh gosh, you know, I've got all these ready-made things and I don't know now how to use them or what to do with them. These are just my kind of like what I would call my top tips as to how to tie them into, you know, a journal that you were making. So again, I've got a green piece here. So we didn't end up making many green pieces, which is strange because I really do love green, but I'm just going to bring in that handful of green things that we've got here. So there, you could have that glued down on a page, just have this torn out, just a little bit coming behind it. Again, it's then bringing out the green of like the leaves and things like that. Taking that away, not saying there's anything wrong with that. It does look fine. But put that there, it's changing the look of it. It's just making it look a little bit more exciting, you know, in my opinion. And I'm not necessarily saying that that's right or anything else. But like I say, I'm just saying that's kind of the type of thing that maybe I would do to try and then, you know, get my papers to work together. And that's another thing, is if I'm then using all of these bits. So again, let's move this out the way. And let's say, okay, let's say the black shade pieces. So I've got a few different looks here, and I've got, you know, blue here on this black piece. I've got some pink here. I've got this kind of olivey green here. And this one, I've got obviously the autumny type colours there from that Autumn's Among Us papers. Now, I personally think all of these could work in a journal absolutely perfectly. What I would probably try and do is, if I were, say, using this one, I would try and have it either opposite, you know, on the same sort of foldy page. I would have it either opposite something else that contains similar colours, so like maybe some blacks and browns and the pink. Or if I were, say, you know, using one that had none of those colours, so for example, these two. So if I just move these out of the way, like that. Let's say I had these two on opposite, you know, pages. What I would probably try and do, and this is where I'll find I haven't got any papers to be able to demonstrate this, but what I would probably try and do is take a paper. Now, I'm not necessarily saying this is going to work, but this was just, you know, laying around on the desk. I would perhaps try and do something like this coming out behind here, because this now has got the pinks and things that then tone in with the pinks on this piece. It's not very easy to see because obviously I've now not got a plain piece. So let me just put another piece down onto the table so that you can see a bit clearer. Hold on a second. Right, so I've got oh, okay, let's use this. So let's just say that this was a double page journal spread and this is the fold line. You could have those on, you know, the double page spread. I mean, they would look fine. They look okay, but they don't really kind of tone together brilliantly, do they? You know, this is obviously much more pinks and things. This is much more browns. So by just taking this and just putting that down there, straight away, that kind of marries that in. And then if I, you know, still wanted to go one step further, for example, I would maybe try and find a butterfly in these shades of pink and maybe just pop a butterfly onto there or something like that. I would maybe take some brown paper and put it behind here. So again, no, I'm not necessarily saying this, but this just happened to be, you know, laying around accessible. maybe put that behind that one. And that then is bringing in the brown from here. Do you see what I'm doing there? I've kind of like done it reverse. So this has got the pink on the pocket, therefore it's got the pink underneath. This has got the brown on the pocket, therefore it's got the brown underneath. I hope that this is not really patronising. I'm really not meaning it to be in any way, you know, patronising. I'm hoping it's kind of helpful. Again, I mean, I just happen to have this flower like just in my organiser to the side, but I suddenly thought, well, actually, this is a good colour. You could put something like that on there. And again, that's then just tying in the pink and the brown. And that's how, personally for me, I would get them to work together in a journal. So if you've kind of made all of these pieces and now you think, oh, now I've got 70 pieces and none of them go together, because sometimes, you know, that's a bit how it feels at first glance. You think, oh, you know, now I've just got effectively one piece for a different journal, if you see what I mean. So 70 different journals worth of just one piece per journal, if that made any grammatical sense whatsoever. But by just doing very little tricks like this, I think you can then quite easily get different looking pieces to work quite well together. Like I say, I mean, I really hope that I'm not being at all patronising or anything like that. I'm really hoping that this is actually, you know, helpful. It's just, these are the types of things that possibly, you know, when I first started making journals especially, and I was really obsessed with matchy, and so I would only make things as I went, as making the journals, you know, because it was like, oh, that's all got to go. When I then did finally start making some pieces ahead of time, you know, which is that brilliant time saver, I then did sometimes have that moment of panic thinking, oh, I still haven't got anything that goes together. So it's all very well, but now I've just got a whole bunch of things that don't really work. Actually, just by doing really tiny things like this, they then are workable. So again, you know, could take this out and then, for example, chop this in with this piece. So what I would probably try and do here is maybe incorporate, let me just see if I've got anything in my little organiser. Oh, I've just got this orange flower now, very scrumpled up because it's been just in my organiser, but you know, maybe layer that up, and then you've got just a little bit of orange. I mean, excuse the state of that flower, obviously it's seen better days now than being laying around on my desk, but you could pop that flower down there, and then maybe I would try and do something like, now this is going to look awful because this is not the right thing, but do you see what I mean? If you tied that in with, like, say, a black centre of some sort, it's bringing in that, you know, very strong, heavy black from the bow. So again, kind of working that together. Or, you know, if you have access to a printer and things in printables, you could always print some more of the paper. So this paper for here, for example, and put that behind, and that would be like a perfect coordinating piece. But, you know, in a sort of improvising way, I would maybe do something like that. Again, this has got some ivory sari silk, so I would maybe try and put something similar, maybe some ivory lace or something like that going down the edge. I mean, yeah, very tiny little scrap here that I've got, but you know, something like that coming down the edge to just bring in more of the ivory. This obviously is quite a sort of heavily black influenced sort of side. There's lots of dark, it's not probably quite black, but you know, what I would call black going on in this pocket. Then you've got that thick black of here. So I would try and obviously bring some black in over to here. So, you know, that's the type of thing that I think is how to get things to work together. Again, you know, this one, I would maybe just try and then, you know, funnily enough, again, I would use this because this is really good match for this. But I would then try and find something quite whitey or off-white, something like that, to put in the background. And again, I'm now not going to have anything suitable, but I mean, that's not quite, you know, not quite the thing, but something like that to bring in more of this white sort of pattern. Again, this was book page. If I had some book page the same, I would maybe tear some of that and put it in the background or something. Maybe, you know, yeah, I mean, not that, to be honest. I'm struggling to find something else neutral, but I would look around and I would find something else neutralish to be able to tie the two bits together. I mean, actually, I've just got a bit of sheet music there. So maybe, you know, maybe a bit of sheet music actually would work quite well. I mean, personally, I think that looks gorgeous. So I'd maybe tear some sheet music or something to have in the background, because that's very similar colours, obviously, to this particular pocket. So yeah, that's basically how I would try and incorporate my ready-made things into a journal. Obviously, you know, like I say, my colours have been quite disproportionate. I have ended up with obviously a ton of pink and, you know, quite a few blue, and then dwindling for the other colours. I mean, for me, that's fine, because I tend to predominantly use pink, I suppose, in my journals. You know, that's probably my go-to colour, if I'm truthful. So, you know, that's all fine. Yeah, that's how it is for me. You may find that you've got a heavy, you know, maybe you are a very yellow kind of person and like to use a lot of yellow. Maybe you've got, you know, 35 pieces which are yellow, and then the other 35 pieces split between, you know, 3 other type of colours, you know, however it is. So yeah, I would probably do that. And so now, to store my pieces, like I say, I'm going to rummage in my son's room and see if he's got a shoebox. I'm not going to rummage in his room, to be fair. I'm going to wait for him to get home from work and ask him, like a normal person, if he's got any shoe boxes or something. I'm pretty sure he will have something, because he's always got things like that. And then I will store them like this, like I say, standing up so that I can flick through. And I will store them like this, so in colours. So all of my pink pieces like that. You know, all of my blue pieces behind, you know, that type of thing. So when I come to then make a journal, and I'm not now just sorting the things out straight away, I could perhaps pull in my box and then just, you know, pick out the whole chunk of like pink pieces and, you know, work from there. So, I mean, I really hope that there was some useful tips there for you. I really hope that you enjoyed the series. You know, really hope that this has kind of sped up your journal making process and given you some, yeah, really useful kind of quick and easy tips, or some tips to make your journal making, you know, much more quick and easy. And yeah, thank you so much. Let me know below. Do you have some other methods that you would use? Because I'm not saying that my method is, you know, the only way. I've just shared, you know, what I find useful. But yeah, I would love to hear what you find useful, because you may well have much more, you know, useful tips that I haven't thought of, or anything that maybe I could adopt and other people as well could adopt. So let me know what you think below. Let me know if you thought it was helpful with our double page spread and how I would kind of try and tie the bits in together. And yeah, really appreciate a big thumbs up for this video. Really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.